So I'll take this right there.
Okay. Good enough. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to call to order this public meeting of the Board of Johnson County Commissioners on this Monday, November 6, 2023 at 10:02 a.m. Please pray with us if you would care to, and then we'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Would you bow with me for a moment of prayer, please, dear Heavenly Father? I'm always quick to thank you for the multitude of blessings you bestow upon us, and we thank you for your presence in our daily lives. And dear Lord, if your presence was ever needed at worldwide, it is surely needed now as the world seems to be in conflict, both at home here and abroad. I just pray that you would be with everybody, whichever side they're on. Keep those that are innocent safe and bless them. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Public Safety Communications, approval of contract with AT&T pending legal.
Good morning, Heath Grant, 911 Director. So I think I got the attorney's updated copy of the agreement this morning. It has all the numbers on that we need, but our current contract with our 911 services it's expiring in February. So this is just a continuation of that.
And I did email Adam that we should take the annual payment option, and so I think is that how we got it? Okay, good.
Yeah, and that's already budgeted.
Yeah, okay.
So
Move to approve.
Second. I have a motion and a second. Any further? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Heath.
Thanks.
Animal shelter. Approval to approach council for additional appropriations.
Good morning, Carrie Clutchy, Director of Animal Shelter. Just need to move money over to cover a copier that we purchased.
Yeah, move to approve.
Second. I have a motion and a second. Any further? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Thank you.
Motion carries. Thanks.
Thank you.
Court Services, approval to apply for FY 2024, 2025 grant applications, A, B, C, and D. If we could do those all together, which I think we can, would be great.
Hi, Christy Bruther, Director of Juvenile Detention. I'm here to answer any questions.
Nope. I don't have any. Move to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries.
Thanks, Christy.
Thank you very much. Health Department, Johnson County WIC to assume responsibilities of Shelby County WIC.
Betsy
Center
Claire, too.
Health, yes. And then
Health
we have some
Department.
ordinances too.
Tracy Smith, Johnson County WIC Coordinator.
So we were approached by the state to assume Shelby County's WIC office. Tracy does such a good job that they thought she would do a good job taking over for them. They were housed under another agency, not a health department, but another agency, and they have terminated that contract. So we would assume their staff, their budget, and it'll just be a location here and a location there.
And will you be traveling back and forth between the two, Tracy, or?
No, I will not.
No.
They have a full staff there already. So their coordinator would just become a site manager. I've known her for 21 years. She's been with WIC for a long time. So if it's not broken, don't fix it. They're a well-oiled machine. So their caseload's about $928 a month, and our caseload here in Johnson County is over 3,000. So it's a small clinic.
And will there be a compensation attached to this for you, or how's that work? No? Okay, Well, thank you for doing that. Yeah, I'm sure Shelby County's appreciative of that.
Still, it's exciting because I think it's gonna provide them good benefits and more resources to a smaller county.
Yeah.
Johnson County's got some good things going on here, so just providing that additional support, I think they'll be great. So just absorbing just another team. So-
Yeah, well, good.
I'd met with these two ladies for about an hour a couple of weeks ago, and I mean, asked a lot of the pertinent questions, and she's excited about it, and they've got the confidence in her to do it, and I do too.
Yeah, great.
So,
Thank you.
I'll move to approve then.
second,
Have a motion and a second. Any further? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. And number
you.
2, ordinance 2023-0-20, second reading.
That's our septic ordinance and fee schedule.
You
move
want to
to
do 2 and 3?
We can.
Yeah, you can if you want
They're
to.
both second readings, so
do second and 3. I'd move to approve 2 and 3.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks, Betsy.
Finally got that done.
Well, now we have to get approval by the state, but step one's done.
Well, yeah, and just for public knowledge, the ICC is battling with that with the state. So that's one of the bills we'll be taking up this year to try to establish a better way of doing this. So hopefully we'll get into that here shortly. Hi, Sheriff. Approval of master services purchase agreement with Axon Enterprises pending legal.
Move to approve.
Second,
Have a motion and a second. Any further? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you. Highway approval of bid date for 2024 material bids.
Good morning, Luke Maston, Highway Supervisor. Yeah, we're requesting for our 2024 materials bid date at your December 4th meeting at 10 a.m. So it'd be for aggregate, concrete, crushed gravel, FOB hot mix asphalt, and liquid asphalt materials.
move to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approval and execution of construction plans title sheet for Bridge 605 replacement project.
Morning, Daniel Johnston, Highway Engineer. That's what I'm requesting, your execution of the title sheet for that project. That's gonna have a letting in February of 20.
Daniel, I got one question on that. That is in Johnson County. It's unincorporated.
No, it's in Greenwood.
It's in green.
It's in Greenwood.
Yeah, that's the one we're doing for Greenwood after we did away with the Cume Bridge Fund. We
Bridge
agreed
Fund.
to do this one.
Yeah.
We've got an interlocal that we're wrapping up our revisions to be sent to Greenwood here.
I
this
just want to
week,
make sure
so-
we had
Yeah.
some of that stuff going through. There was some other things identified with that. So
Yeah,
I'll move to approve.
second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Should I leave this up there?
You could, if you would like. Thank you.
Just put this somewhere we won't spill
We-
coffee.
we'll- Assume we'll get that signed. Board of Commissioners approval of professional services agreement addendum with Gateway Services and Incorporated DBA Access Johnson County Public Transit.
Move to approve unless anybody has a question on it.
Second,
Have a motion and a second. Any further? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Thanks, Peggy.
Thank you. Award and approval of contract for the Johnson County Courthouse Windows and Doors Project, S&L Companies. Which,
well,
Pending
it's
legal, we have-
interesting, pending legal.
Well, it's not, but we have it back from
You
them.
got it
so
back
we're-
from them?
We're good to go on that one.
Just interesting coming out of Syracuse, New York to do this project.
you know, we try to do the best we can to stay local, but sometimes that's just not possible. So, but everything checked out. They had everything they were supposed to have and they come with some good references. So
Okay, I'll move to approve.
Second.
And it'll be good to get it done. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Ordinance 2023-0-25, ordinance authorizing distribution and or expenditures of proceeds Johnson County's grant from the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, subjects to crisis intervention team.
Move to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carries. Acceptance of lowest quote and award of contract pursuant to IC 36-1-12-5 for crisis intervention team furniture project.
That, I looked through these quotes, and of course, I think the lowest one was 17,000 or something like that, but I just take exception to the prices on some of these items. I mean, it's $400 or $500 per chair. They don't need $400 or $500 chairs, 11 of them. And then I don't know what a pedestal is. Somebody explain that to me. 18 inches by 22. What?
Sometimes it could be a support. Sometimes it's a support for an island on a piece of furniture. Just a pedestal that sits underneath that.
You know, but did you look at the dimensions on them? I mean, there's,
It could be the actual island that sticks out. A desk is usually set here and then they have a side.
well, this is things only like 2 feet, 2 inches tall or something of that. I mean,
It'd be a desk height 30 inches once they get the cabinet put underneath them. I'm just speculating. That's
yeah,
what I've seen.
I don't know. Yeah, anyway, I don't know who spec'd this to start with. I'm assuming the crisis intervention team people did. But they got filing cabinets in there. They got one as, I guess, a clothing storage cabinet. $2,000 or something. Just ridiculous prices, I think, of what they need based on what we typically get in government. I mean, we're normally pretty prudent on the items we purchase, and it's just my take on it. And I can't believe we don't have some of this available. We used to have a ton of furniture and desk and file cabinets and all of that. Various places and storage. I don't know whether. Jason here?
Yeah.
He was trying to hide behind.
Oh, Jason. I know they used to have a lot of that stored in some of the buildings. I don't know. To me, you know, yeah, 3 people in that office. And there was some items they were getting 11 of, like 11 chairs, I think.
For the conference room. You looked at.
Yeah, I mean, you can't get 11 chairs around a 8-foot table anyway. I don't think. Not comfortably. Anyway, I don't know necessarily how to go about this, since I've already got 3 quotes, but I'm not gonna vote for any of them.
I'm gonna go ahead and move to approve Office 360.
You mean to read the numbers out loud? So we had 3 quotes. The first was from Commercial Office Environments for $22,706.67, 22706.67. RJE Business Interiors, their quote was $45,723.75, 45723.75. I'm in the wrong line of work, apparently. Office 360, their quote was for $17,440.26, 17440.26.
Boy, oh boy. And I have to say, I looked at this too, and I had some issues with some things, and I did. There were some things eliminated that were on this originally from that. And I had the same question in my mind is the cost of the equipment that was being priced. I thought was a little out of line too, but Office 360 is a company that we use throughout the county. But maybe there's a reason for the upgrade in furniture than what we would normally have everywhere else in the county.
Andy Barnhart, Chief Deputy of the Sheriff's Office. I had the CIT people price this out with Office 360, which is who we've used to do most of our new furniture work in the sheriff's office. This is, believe it or not, and I don't know, like if the other bids came in obviously higher, this is pressed board, laminate. This is not extravagant stuff. This isn't solid wood, anything. This is comparable to this podium that I'm working with right here. This is the same company, and these are identical desks that we just purchased. I don't know how many, probably 15 of them for our clerks and our detectives. Last year out of commissary, didn't bring it before commissioners, didn't bring it before council, purchased all that out of commissary because the ones we had, you're right, Commissioner West, there's some stuff that had been around for a while. A lot of it's fallen apart. When they get moved around, things like that, it was just falling apart. So we went through and revamped all those. It's nothing extravagant. More than welcome to come see. I think this is just the way the pricing is now. When you have these companies come in and put a system like this together. White Township Fire Department uses the same company, and some of the other more recent projects that have been done in government are using the same one. And Office 360 is almost always the cheapest, which is why we called them originally. And when we did it out of commissary, why we went with them. So we're doing our due diligence. It's one of those things that I think it makes all of us a little sick when we see how much pricing has gone up on some of this, but I think it's just a fact of the way it is now, unfortunately. This is nothing extravagant at all.
And again, when I looked at this originally, those are the things that I questioned, and those were given to me as the answers. It's basically, and that's why I wanted to bring this forward. It's basically the same type of stuff we're using as press board. It's just the chairs are a little nicer than some of the chairs, but I think probably all of us need a little better chairs sometimes. I know mine gets a little nasty every once in a while, but
Those match the same ones we have in the conference room.
Barb had for years.
yeah.
And we did take some of the other things that were considered optional items out of it at Commissioner Bear's request. There was a couch for like the waiting area. We'll end up buying some of that at commissary. So we did trim that down as much as we could.
Yeah.
Thank you, Andy.
And it's still, it's shocking in the price, but that I'm glad he explained that. It is really comparable to the stuff we're using in other areas. And this is going to be an area that does have a little more public in it than like my office or your office or some of the areas. So, and it's a little less utilitarian than some. So with that said, and the good explanation there, I second that motion.
Unfortunately, I have to deal with this every day in my private business,
Yeah, I
so
know.
I know the cost of this stuff.
Yeah, it's gone crazy, but we're gonna need some more sooner or later, so it's gonna happen. Anyway, I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed,
Hi,
motion carries. Approval of grant easement with Duke Energy.
I'm gonna approve pending legal and some clarifications back from Duke. Finally,
I'll second that.
Those little suckers. And motion and second.
all right, it's not done yet.
Any further? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Hi,
Opposed, motion carries with pending legal and some explanation. Approval of Johnson County Employee Handbook revisions.
I'll just let it go and say, I'll say. Approve.
It'll change within the next 2 or 3 months anyway.
Yeah,
So, and if we see something that's not working out, we can always revise it. So
It's growing and expanding.
everything, as you well know, we deal with this quite a bit, so I'm gonna second your motion for today.
I have a motion and a second. Any further? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed. Motion carries. Court Services, Juvenile Detention, approval of services agreement with Cavalman Medical Holdings LLC. She's back.
Oh, there's
Yeah, I moved to approve.
Oh, she left.
I move to approve.
Is this,
Is that 2 nurse visits 7 days a week? Yeah, I thought it
365 days a
was.
year.
Yeah.
And the doctor's there twice a week. And is also on call 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
is this who you've been using?
It is.
Yeah. they've been
Very
using
happy
Cal.
with them.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. Any further? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries.
I got a question for her while she's up here. Do you have any psychiatrists that come in for juvenile?
We do not have a psychiatrist. We have a working agreement with adult and child that we can take them over there if needed. But in general, we can do some telehealth as well for med visits. But we don't have anybody that comes in.
Okay.
Is that the $400 and some a month we pay adult and child?
Yes, except we canceled that contract. in
Oh, did you?
Mhm.
Okay,
We hadn't used it. And
Yeah.
so, yeah.
okay.
If you do get one and it's a good one, could you please send them over, to talk to Kevin?
I
Yeah.
will.
I appreciate that.
Well, he misspoke. He meant to analyze.
And
I'll speak with it.
I just reached out to a colleague from IU, who has a PhD. I don't think I need to go back and look to see if she could sign off on our suicide prevention plan. So adult and child has done that in the past. Didn't hear back from them this time. And so her and I are co-chairing a committee together. And so I asked her if maybe she would be that representative for us. So she emailed me back and said she's willing to talk to me about it. So
I'm just gonna say, I think it's imperative to start at the youth. Instead of waiting until they're adults and just treating the symptoms, try to prevent the symptoms.
yeah, so we don't have a psychiatrist. We do have professionals on our team.
Yeah.
Including, the yoga therapy, the trauma therapy. I'm a licensed social worker. We have contract social workers working for us, an occupational therapist. So we're doing lots of screens when they first come in and working through that. And then Dr. Kavelman will also prescribe meds if a kid is already on meds and we can't have contact with their local doctor, or if they've been past their 30-day review, he'll review them and also prescribe medicine. So I think minus having the psychiatrist on call or in our back pocket, we have a great collaboration making that happen.
And that might be something that will be available to you when we get the mental health facility open. They should have staff there that might be able to help you in that regard.
Yeah, and a lot of kids come in with therapists already assigned, and so we schedule for the telehealth or the Zoom visits, and we are doing a few in-person visits for like med checks and those follow-up things. So
Yeah, good.
we continue to do what we can.
Thanks, Christy.
Good.
Anything
you.
else?
Thank you.
Huh?
Claims,
Did we vote on that?
we did.
Can if you want to.
Yeah, I'll vote again. Well, I'm glad Jason's here. One thing I noticed, it seems like every time I go through claims, we have some sizable claims on elevators. And I'm not sure. I know we spend a lot of time and a lot of money on the two here, but just seems like it's always several $1,000s every month on these elevators. You want to speak to that, Jason?
They just did
I can't hear you, buddy.
You gotta come up here.
Hence, Commissioner, that's why we're going to single floor at probation.
Yeah,
Good point.
exactly right.
It's a good point.
Jason Miller courthouse maintenance. I know they just did a repacking on one of the elevators at the museum. We have 10 elevators, right?
Yeah.
So they're old, so.
Yeah.
But they did a repacking and everything, and I know that was several $1,000s.
Is that the one Resurgent just did?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2,700.
Yeah.
17.
Yeah, and then we, of course, redid the elevators here totally.
We did
Yeah.
redo the elevators here totally, and the
Yeah.
courthouse is new, so,
Do you have any problems getting any parts, Jason?
no.
Is,
Not yet.
Yeah, I wish you hadn't brought that up.
I know Resurgent's not the company you were using before. Is it the same company, just changed names?
Same company changed names.
Is that
Yeah.
what it is?
yeah.
Okay. All right, well, I was just curious, I see that all the time and I was just thought maybe we might want to look at something different.
I gotta keep them running,
Yeah,
so.
Yeah,
all right, thank you.
Okay.
I always try to have something for the sheriff, but I didn't see anything this month, but I do have one for the coroner. I'm glad Mike's here. You know, I'm always harping about T-shirt Express and the clothing, the money that we spend, and Corner had a T-shirt Express for $482. Probably the one thing that I might ask him about, he had 8 New Era Coach style jackets, $44 a piece. Is that, what's the life expectancy on something of that nature?
Should be able to pick him up in the microphone back there.
And I recognize, I mean, we're doing business with a local company before Kevin gets that. Yeah, I appreciate that.
This is a no-win situation. Michael Pro, Johnson County Corner, life expectancy, I've only been in office 3 years, so I really don't know how long these are gonna last.
Yeah,
But what they are is we purchased rain jackets, light rain jackets for the deputies to wear out in the field because we really didn't have anything for foul weather. And that's what we purchased for them.
is that a jacket kind of like what you got on? No.
It's a little bit lighter weight, but it's like a low-end raincoat is what it is.
So they just carry that extra, I guess. They wouldn't wear it all the time.
No, they just carry it with them.
Yeah.
And then we had the county corner seal and that screen printed on, so.
Yeah. All
That's
right,
what
thanks,
it's for.
Mike.
You're welcome, anytime.
Yeah.
Don't say anytime.
I am working.
Thank you, sir. Yeah. All right, I move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Commissioner minutes approval for a regular meeting 10/23/2023.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further conditions? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Any public comment other than I've got one? But anybody else? I just want everybody to notice my cup here. It says I like bourbon and my dogs and maybe 3 people. So I think I'm probably the one that needs a psychiatrist. So if Christie's still listening when you get one hired. Thank you very much. That's all I had.
I'm good. Move to adjourn, sir.
Second.
I have a motion second. We're adjourned.